Hello, and welcome to Rethinking Our History, where we seek to shed a light on events that have been forgotten and covered up, and to make us all question how much do we really know about our history? I'm Felicia.
And I'm Ian, and we are here to reveal all the sordid details of history that have been swept under the rug. Get ready to get angry, be curious, and maybe have a laugh or two as we rethink our history.
Hello, friends.
Hey guys.
Welcome back to another lesson, number 24.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw. Wish I was 24 again.
Wish I was too.
We're going to look at an event that is a bit more lighthearted than the topics we've been covering, but let's get the business out of the way first. If you are a fan of the paranormal, give our flagship show, The Paranormal Lovers, a listen. Over 100 episodes about everything from poltergeist to cults. If you would like to follow us on our socials, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram, as well as watching our videos on YouTube, by search for The Paranormal Lovers in the search bar. If you would like to support the making of this pod, we have a couple of ways to do so. First, we have a merch store at theparanormallovers.threadless.com. Second, we have a Patreon at patreon.com/paranormal lovers. We have one $5 tier that you can try for 1 week free and cancel.
Get the bloopers.
Yeah. While there, you get early access to unedited videos of these episodes, as well as stickers and other swag. And lastly, if you have a personal true crime or paranormal or historical story, or if you have a topic request, email us at theparanormallovers@yahoo.com. All right. Hi. So funny. So we're batch recording because we're going to be at Hotlanta next weekend. Or wait.
Yay, we sold a bunch of stuff.
No, we're batch recording because we were at Hotlanta last week.
Yeah.
Well,
Yay,
it's funny.
We sold a bunch
We
of
sold
stuff.
stuff and we met people. Yay, it was amazing.
We love you guys.
So this week, I was saying it's funny because it says, so this week we're going to Europe, France specifically, and we just...
Oh, we forgot to say what we loved about this week on the last episode.
Oh shit, we didn't we? I didn't type that into my notes.
It's okay.
Oops. Let's try and remember it on the next one.
We'll do it on the next one.
All right. We're going to France, and it's funny because we just did an episode about French Canadians. Not great French Canadians.
No.
Not great French Canadians at all.
The cult kind.
Yeah. Y'all, if you haven't, go listen to episode 104 of TPL. Look, Anthill Kids, because wow.
Shoo.
Wow. We're going to look at an event that on the surface sounds like it might have been fun, but in reality was torturous and terrifying to those affected by it. This week, we are going to look at the dancing plague of 1518.
The dancing plague?
Of 1518.
Oh, so there's more dancing plagues?
Yes. There are many more dancing plagues.
Oh, boy. 1518. All right.
This plague happened in Strasbourg, Alsace, while it was still under the rule of the Holy Roman Empire, with a woman named Frau Troffea on July of 1518. In July of 1518, quote, Frau Troffea had started dancing on July 14th on the narrow cobbled street outside of her half-timbered home. As far as we can tell, she had no musical accompaniment, but simply began to dance. Some of those who witnessed her strange performance had begun to mimic her, and within days, more than 30 choreomaniacs were in motion. Some so monomanically that only death would have the power to intervene, end quote.
Holy shit.
Dun, dun, dun. Let me tell you what.
What the fuck?
I was like, what the fuck is a choreomaniac? Yeah, I know. What the fuck is right, bro? I believe this is another one I heard about on Morbid, and I'm pretty sure Bailey Sarian covered a dancing plague or two. Like, it's just actually Morbid just did an episode. That's what made me think about it, where they talked to, I don't remember his name. He's a dancer, and they talked about dancing plagues, quote, or plural, dancing plagues.
Right.
Troffea would dance for a week, falling asleep where she was and getting up to dance even more. But this plague would last for almost 2 months. By August, around 400 people had participated in the dancing. Many of them had vacant eyes and were completely expressionless, while others thrashed around violently. They would be drenched in sweat, feet bleeding, and crying out for help, but no one was able to stop them. People soon began collapsing, many from exhaustion, dehydration, or hunger, but some claim that others died from strokes and heart attacks. It is said, allegedly, that there were as many as 15 deaths a day during the peak of the plague, but it is unknown the exact number of deaths. It finally came to an end in September when the dancers were sent to a mountain shrine to pray for absolution. Now, this is not some urban legend like it sounds. This is not the only dancing plague to have broken out across the globe, just the most well documented. The documents start with the city council trying to get folks to stop dancing, but they were not able to do much, so they handed the authority of the outbreak over to the physicians. Physicians were like, "What?
I wonder. I just had a thought pop in my head. I wonder if Dance Macabre's about this from Ghost,
Maybe, who knows?" Knowing them, probably.
right?
Physicians were like, "I guess just let them dance." It is alleged
They
that
look happy.
they built a stage and hired musicians and professional dancers. They also hired strong people to help those dancing stay upright.
What the hell?
But this plan backfired and even more people joined in on the frenzy. At this point, people were afraid they were being punished by Saint Vitus, the patron saint of dancers and entertainers,
Hmm.
and to absolve themselves of sin, they joined in on the dancing. At this point, the city council felt they had no choice but to ban dancing altogether, even going as far as to ban music altogether, lest anyone get the urge.
Hmm.
The afflicted were ordered to travel to the shrine of Saint Vitus while wearing red shoes that had been blessed with holy water and painted with crosses on the top and bottom. They held small crosses and incense and chanted Latin incantations as they traveled. After this, the plague ended. Now, there is some debate over the alleged facts of this event. First, we have the identity of the initial dancer. Out of six chronicle accounts of these events, four of them named Frau Troffea as patient zero. Then there is also the debate over the number of people who died, mainly whether anyone died at all. The accounts from the time do not mention deaths, those claims came later. And finally, there is a debate over how many people were affected. Some reports say around 50, while others say over 400.
Hmm.
Which 50 or 400, I don't give a fuck. You see 50 people just like out dancing in the street. They feet's bleeding, they crying, they like passing out and shit where they're standing.
Yeah, that's strange.
But one thing that has brought people together for years to have debates about this event is the cause. More interesting theories include demonic possession or overheated blood.
All right.
1500s,
Bath
y'all.
salts. Bath salts.
'Twas the 1500s. They didn't have bath salts. They barely had any salt, okay? However, today, with the hindsight, technology, and knowledge we have, there are more rational theories for this event. One of the most common scapegoats for this event, where whole towns lose their minds, is ergot.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe.
Ergot is a fungus that typically grows on grains. That is not to say ergot is not a dangerous thing. It is, in fact, what LSD 25 was originally synthesized from.
Yep.
Mr. Ballin actually covered a case of a whole town that lost their minds from ergot, but it has historically been used to explain away shitty behavior.
Psychosis.
Case in point, the Salem witch trials, where people tried to blame the fungus for the fits of the quote unquote bewitched, when in reality it was bored, petty, spiteful, shitty little white girls being cunts.
Right.
That's what happened in Salem. Little shitty white girls being cunts. But there is some issue with this theory. While ergot poisoning can make some people have energy and be hyper, it typically does not last longer than a day, and the symptoms typically get much worse rather quickly.
Yeah.
Plus, although the symptoms are similar, say hallucinations, they vary wildly from victim to victim. So I think in that one episode, like the girl was seeing like tigers fly through her bedroom, and somebody else was seeing like fighter planes like bombing shit or something. Like,
Yeah.
you might all have hallucinations, but you're not going to be hallucinating the same thing.
That, and you could stop dancing if you were like feeling like not dancing.
Well, yeah, and also like with that episode that I listened to from Mr. Ballin, there was like very specific cycles that the ergot takes.
Mm-hmm.
So like you're gonna have this symptom, and then like this will happen, and then this will happen. And like I said, it's not, you know, like people will have hallucinations, and then people will have a fever, and then people will do this. Like,
Yeah,
this was just like people dancing for 2 weeks, 2 months straight.
that's crazy.
Not to mention, most of the dancing plagues happened around rivers, 2 specific rivers where each area had different crops. So they weren't even all eating the same thing that ergot would grow on. Another rational, albeit boring theory is mass hysteria, specifically stress induced mass hysteria. Listen, I either read an article or heard someone say that the 1500s was the worst century in history.
Right.
Literally, the 1500s was the worst century to be living on this planet in all of human history because it just sucked.
Yeah.
War, famine, disease.
Somebody that I was listening to last night was talking about the 1500s, and guess what else was prevalent in the 1500s?
What?
The top percent of rich people in the world were like 90. They had 98% of the wealth, and there was very few of them. And then all of the rest of the people of the world
We're
were
really fucking poor.
really fucking poor, and they only had like 2% of the wealth. Sound like anything familiar?
Well, sound like something they're trying to do all over again.
Yep.
This region in which this plague and the 7 dancing plagues to come was rife with these hard times. Yeah, this was the first plague of 8 in this one region.
Wow.
This stress could have led to chorea, which is an involuntary movement disorder. St. Vitus's dance, St. John's dance, and tarantism were all coined during the medieval age due to just how terrible shit was. Although tarantism is actually caused by the bite of a couple of different spiders. It was initially named after like tarantulas.
Yeah.
But then they're like, I mean, black widows be making people do shit and stuff too. So
I bet.
And in the area of this particular plague, worship of the martyr Saint Vitus was at an all-time high. He was said to curse those who angered him with uncontrollable dancing. Add to that it being the 1500s and there being no scientific technology at the time, the supernatural was the answer for everything.
Right.
In this day and age, I have found myself entranced while doing my own spiritual practices, so I can't imagine how I would have reacted had I lived during this time and in this place.
Yeah.
Stress can make the body do crazy things, even dance until your feet bleed. When people complain about people doom scrolling on their phones to escape reality, I'm going to ask them if they'd rather people dance until their feet bled and they die from exhaustion.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, they're smoking weed. Would you rather they dance until they die?
Right.
No. Okay then. And that is a rough overlook of the dancing plague of the 1518.
It's so strange.
What do you think about that, Bill?
It's so strange.
It's strange. People just fucking started dancing, and they didn't stop dancing for 2 months.
I mean,
And then they just stopped.
when stuff gets so shitty that you just don't care and you just dance, like, I mean, I could see that happening.
And I wonder how many people were like,
People just don't care
like
whether they died.
if you think of like the mass hysteria, because you've got war going on, everybody around you sick and dying. There's no food for anybody to eat. You stressed out all the time because shit just sucks. And one day you just like, I just need to dance, and you go out and start dancing, and then your brain just snaps, and then you just don't stop dancing.
Yeah,
I can see it.
I could see it too.
I can see it happening. It was rough though. All right, folks. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't be too scared to dance. I know shit's rough right now, so let's move those hips and shimmy.
Some of the best music comes out of troubled times. So
movement is now a form of resistance. So
one,
resist.
Yeah, for sure.
We hope you all have a good week, and we will see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
Love you. Bye.
We love you.